Hi everyone, Mrs. Bradshaw here. Today we are going to continue our study on volume. So our learning goal today is let's use different sized cubic units to measure volume. And remember, when we see the word cubic units, cubic refers to volume, so V for volume, and units, that is just a type of measurement. So think feet, inches, centimeters, meters. So as we go today, on your assignment, it's going to give you several different things that need to be measured, and it wants you to decide what would be the appropriate units that would go along with that. So you're going to see problems that look like this today. So let me move this down. And it's going to have part A, part B, and part C on some of them. And so over here is where it's always going to show the directions. So the directions on this one say label the dimensions of the box. The dimensions of the box, dimensions means the number that is associated with it. And then it says find the volume in cubic feet. So that's the important unit that we're using is feet. So Anna buys a box in the shape of a rectangular prism. It has a length of 12, so I'm going to underline that, length of 12, a width of 4 feet, and a height of 6 feet. So what I have to do now is I have to drag these where they belong. So I have a length of 12, so that goes there. I have a width of 4, and I have a height of 6. And I know that there's two different formulas that I can use to find volume. So I can find volume equals base times height, or volume equals length times width times height. So I'm going to find volume equals base times height. So if I wanted to solve that one, I'm going to solve it over here. So I know my base is 12 times 4. So I'm going to rewrite this where I'm lining it up by the ones place. So I have 12 times 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. So my base is 48. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to go volume equals 48. That's my base, times my height, which is 6 feet. So that is my equation that I'm using. So now I have to figure out 48 times 6. Okay, well, if I don't know my math facts, how can I do 6 times 8? Well, that is saying I'm going to have 6 groups of 8. So 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. I should have 6 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 8 plus 8 is 16, plus 16, plus 16. Then I have 32 plus 16. And when I add 32 plus 16, I get 48. So 6 times 8 is 48. So put my 8, carry my 4, 6 times 4. If I don't know my math facts, I can do 6 groups of 4. So 4 6 times. Or if I do know my math facts, I can just say 6 times 4, and that would be 24 plus 4, which would be 28. So the volume of this figure is 288. But remember, it said we needed it in cubic feet, so 288. And then they put it already here for me, so feet cubed. Or remember the other way that can be written, I'm just going to put it here, would be cubic feet. Either one of those would work. All right, moving on to the next problem. So again, every time I see a slide like this, I'm going to read the directions. So it says find the volume in cubic inches of the box. So then I'm going to read my problem. Tyson buys a box in the shape of a rectangular prism. The dimensions of the box are shown, 6, 9, and 4. Well, I know that when I have to find volume, I can find it volume equals base times height, or volume equals length times width times height. On this one, I'm going to use length times width times height. So volume equals, I see right here, my length and my width, I have 6 and I have 9. So I'm going to type those in. 6 times 9, and my height is 4. And so then I'm going to drop it down. Volume equals, what is 6 times 9? Well, I know 6 times 9 is the same thing as saying I have 9 groups of 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 6, 9 times, or it is 54, and then bring down my times 4. I have to figure out volume equals 54 times 4. So 54 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So my answer, volume equals 216. And remember, it wanted my answer in cubic inches, or the other way to write it is inches cubed. So I'm going to put my answer here, 216 inches cubed. All right, the next type of problem you're going to see is like this. This one is actually a little bit harder than the ones that you're going to see today. So the directions, match the volume to the correct rectangular prism. So I have 4 different problems here. So think back to when you guys have learned about area and perimeter. So right here on every figure, they found out the area of the base. So the area of the base. So what we have to do now is we have to take that base times multiplying it by the height. So I have a base on the first one. So volume equals base. Volume equals base times height. So here I have 36 times 2. So volume equals 36 times 2. So I'm just going to take my cursor over here. 36 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12. Carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. So my volume of this one is 72 centimeters cubed. Well, I have to look. Do we have that? We do. So I'm going to drag that here. All right, let's solve the next one. My next one has an area of the base is 60 centimeters squared. So volume equals base times height. So volume equals 60 times 3. So here I'm going to take 60. I'm actually going to change my color. So 60 times 3. 3 times 0 is 0. 6 times 3 is 18. So 180 centimeters cubed, or cubic centimeters, is going to be my answer to number 2. I see I have that right here. All right, looking at the next one, my area of the base is 35 centimeters. So volume equals 35 times 4. So now I'm going to figure out what is the volume of this figure. So 35 times 4. Well, I know 5 times 4 is 20. Put my 0, carry my 2. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 140. So I know that the volume of this problem is 140 cubic centimeters or centimeters cubed. Let's see if that's an answer. It is, so I can drag that. All right, on to the last one. So I'm looking at this problem here. The base of the problem is 45 times 2. So I'm going to rewrite it. 45 times 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Put my 0, carry my 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. So 90 centimeters cubed or cubic centimeters. Let's see. Yes, I have that one. So on these ones, you are just using the formula, either volume equals base times height or volume equals length times width times height.